It's summer, and you know what that means. Time for VBS, Vacation Bible School. Woohoo! Yay! We see banners all over the place where this church is doing VBS, and one does one week, one the next, and they each have their different theme. And we're talking about, we don't have any kids, and we're just wondering, well, what do they do at VBS exactly? And so, I was saying, and this is just my theory, and Lano's backing me up on it, so maybe we're right, I don't know, but it seems like the parents, nowadays parents work, both the husband and the wife, and so they have to either dump the kids off on the grandkids or pay for summer school or child care or something while they're at work during the summer because the kids don't have any school. So I think the parents just dump the kids off on the church.
Grandparents, and the church.
And the grandparents, but they're also on the church for VBS. That's 1 week where the grandparents don't have to take care of the kids. And then the churches, I doubt they're teaching anything about Jesus or the gospel or anything like that. They're probably, you see their banners, they have some kind of theme, like pirate theme or dinosaur theme or unicorn theme, and you're thinking, what in the world does this have to do with God? I didn't remember any of those things being in the Bible. Pirates, unicorns, or dinosaurs. But they have these themes to get the kids in, and probably it's just like missionaryism. It's just a numbers game. That way they can have their cute little shirts made and their banners, and they can get up in the church and they can say, we had 85 kids attend VBS this year, and this was the theme, and all the kids had a good time, and then they can feel good, pat themselves on the back that they did a great job in reaching the community for Jesus. Even though we didn't really talk about Jesus, we reached the community for Jesus.
Yeah, that's one of the things Eric and I were talking about was if they're not teaching about Jesus in their sermons, the so-called pastors, which really they're speakers, they're not pastors. They're not reverends. They're not anything.
Oh, he's a good speaker.
Yeah, he's a good speaker, and that's another whole video. But anyway, so if they're not talking about or teaching about Jesus in the service, well, the VBS Vacation
Bible School.
Yeah, it's not being taught to the kids, and I was telling Eric. He stopped me before I could finish telling the whole story because he knew this is going to be a video. Wait a minute, this is going to be a video.
Yeah, I was saying, it makes sense that if you just want to have your kids babysit for, then why not just go to different churches with your kids, and each week you go to a different Vacation Bible School. Catholics 1 week, Methodist the next, Presbyterian the next, Baptist the next. Well, and so Lana has a story about that.
I worked with a girl. Really, I worked with, at one time, 30 women in an office. You should all have sympathy for me.
Lord have mercy.
Even I did not I told Eric one time, I said, I'd rather work in an office full of men cussing than work with 30 women in an office. That's pretty bad when I don't even want to work with my own sex. Anyway, the point is, there was one girl, and she admitted this. She was in her late 20s. She had 2 kids. And this girl, she was very sweet, but she cussed like she put a sailor to shame. Some of the words came out of her mouth. She drank like a sailor, and she chain smoked like a sailor. Well, she admitted during the summertime, or before summer, she would find out the local churches around her home. She would find out who was having VBS and when they were having VBS. She basically found out one church was having it this week, and then the following week was another church. Then the following week after that was another church.
Were they all the same denomination?
No, they were not the same denomination. And she sent her kids, set them up each week at each different church for VBS because she did not want to have to deal with them during the summer because she had her parents that they lived in another state. So she basically did not have somebody to take care of her kids during the summer. So she had to have, either she would pay a neighbor that stayed at home to, watch her kids during the summer. Well, she pretty much realized that she was wearing her welcome thin with her neighbors because her kids were kind of hellions. But anyway, so she decided she was going to send her kids to a different VBS every week throughout the summer so she could get rid of them. And actually, I didn't get to tell you this, Eric.
Bonus for the video.
Bonus. Actually, the following summer when she tried to do it again, her kids were kind of like on the ban list because they were so bad. And so bad as in the point of they would be cussing. These kids kids are like little parrots. They do what the parents say and do what the parents do.
I was gonna say, if she's a chain smoker and curses like a sailor, it's no surprise her kids are heathens.
Yeah, she so they were kind of banned, but she said, I said, they can't ban you from sending your kids to church. She goes, well, when I called, it was filled up already. Filled up. Yeah, that was it. And I said, maybe it was filled up. She goes, no. She said, I had friends that sent their kids and they were in plenty of rooms. She said, no. She said, it wasn't filled up. She said, they banned my kids from VBS. And I'm thinking, well, I can understand why. I mean, you send your kids and your kids are cussing and and I send my kid, I ain't got no kid, but if I send my kid and my kid does not cuss because I taught my kid that, do not cuss. There's no sense in it. And plus, the Bible, God, doesn't like cussing either. And so, and then your child comes in and drops the F-bomb every 5 seconds. Yeah, I can see why your kid was not allowed to come back. So anyway, anybody that's got kids out there and you send them to VBS, we want to know, put a post, or if you got friends that have kids and they talk about, well, I sent my kid to VBS and find out what they're teaching these kids. That's what we want to know. Are they teaching them anything? Or is it more, let's give you sugar, here's a jump rope, and you'll be nice and hyper by the time your parents come pick you up? What is it? Go ahead.
Yeah, I think it's just babysitting is all it is. They're not teaching them anything. They're certainly not giving the gospel. Maybe they'll give a Bible story or two, maybe, like a David and Goliath. But that doesn't really do anything about your sin. They're not going to address the sin problem. They're too young to be dealing with the sin problem. Oh, really? Well, the public schools don't mind indoctrinating them in evolution and atheism from kindergarten, so why don't we hit the kids as soon as we can with the truth before they're involved in the religion of atheism and evolution, and then they won't believe the truth. They won't even listen to it. They have itching ears. Turn their ears away from the truth. That woman there you mentioned sounds like the woman who brings her kids to church and they leave them in the nursery and they give them a number. If the number pops up on the screen and you got to go get your kids, and so then the number pops up all the time, 666, come get your kids, your number 666. They probably give the number 666 to their kids. That's probably what it was. But
I think that's it.
I think that's it, yeah. I think that it's just like anything else, just like missionaryism. They'll say, we got to raise money for missions. And then they come back and they say, we had a good time at the mission trip. I made some good friends. Here's a picture of me with this new friend I made. Here's a picture of this other friend I made. And, they're just really sweet people over there. I really have a compassion for how bad off they are. And we were just glad we could go and encourage them. Where's the gospel in that? Where is helping people out spiritually speaking? And did you really help them out materially speaking? when you went over there? Maybe you helped them medically. I mean, it's good to do that. Nothing wrong with that. But I thought you were a Christian. I thought you were trying to get people saved, get them into heaven. So how did you accomplish that? You didn't. And I think it's the same thing with VBS. It's all about, well, let's get a whole bunch of kids in here, and then we can make the report about how good we did, how the attendance was, and how much fun the kids had, but there's no mention of the gospel or Jesus. But if you have experiences, share it below. Comment below. And I read every comment. And I approve about half of them. So make sure you don't call me any names. Or
don't use any cuss words, otherwise you ain't gonna get posted.
Cuss words, personal attacks, they're gone.